grensbegriffen, limit-setting concepts, denote things which belong to us, which are within our realm, all by hinting at something else. Okay, within the Marburg school, there is also a particular interest for the history of admitted ignorance of the human being as regards the absolute. And it's by no means a coincidence that the Marburg philosophers were at the origin of a new modern edition of Nicholas of Cusa's works. It was mainly Hermann Cohen who did. And as has been shown by other people, Brouwer was also influenced by Nicholas of Cusa's or Cusanus. So we're talking here about the 15th century philosopher and theologian and cardinal Nicholas of Cusa, who is mainly known for the concept of the docta ignorantia, like the wise ignorance, or the ignorance which is aware of itself and therefore becomes wise, obviously in the Platonic tradition. Here is Nicholas of Cusa. Republished by, or at least the project started in the Marburg school, and he influenced Brouwer. Nicholas of Cusa was also somebody who was particularly interested in mathematics, and he used a type of mathematical theology, and especially geometry. We find that in some of his manuscripts, where, for instance, he asks his reader to consider a circle and a tangent of that circle, and then he asks to make the circle bigger and bigger. At any point of this development, a circle remains a circle for a human being, and the straight line remains a straight line. But at the same time, looking at such figures gives you an idea of what a mind superior to ours could see, namely that the two coincide. There again, there is denotation on the one hand, when you look at the figure as it is drawn in the manuscript, but the final stage is the disappearance of the image. In infinity, there is the coincidence of the opposites, which we don't see anymore. So I very quickly now go back to Brouwer's intentions behind the trifold attribution of truth, the slide you saw, and I would like to insist on a possible paraphrasing. Instead of what Aristotle does, who says A is true or A is not true and there is no third possible, Brouwer says something like the inner constructions of the mathematician allow him to say, I see proposition A as true, as a true statement, I see proposition A as a false statement, or I do not, at this point of my construing activity, have the means to decide whether A is true or false. The search must therefore be continued. So there are three aspects which I would like to highlight here. First of all, that Brouwer, by choosing this, avoids what he himself calls the irreligious separation from the self. Because indeed, in the three cases, there is a reference to I. I see that it's not the case, or I don't see. Second, there is an explicit recognition of a relative ignorance. If you don't have the means yet to decide whether it's true or false, I am finishing. And finally, there is a special use of the negation, namely a volitional type of negation used in the third option, which is in line with Brouwer's view on the importance of volition and exhortive language as being fundamental for mathematics. So I'm now finishing, and it's just a little personal note that I would like to add. In Tours, in France, where I live, there is a sculptor who makes works of art like this. It's called a shaman. And what I find interesting about it is that we sort of recognize the three aspects of Brouwer's efforts that we just mentioned. First of all, there is the expression of an interiorization. There is deference, there's a bow, but at the same time, we see a person who is like a runner getting ready to engage in a purposeful quest, which is what human beings should do in science and in particular in mathematics. So I'm going to finish with this. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Luke. Will there be any questions? Can we have one question? We can take one question. If not, thank you so much. Dr. Luke, can you please remain on stage? I'd like to call upon Professor P.B. Sharma to give a token of appreciation to all our speakers. Professor Sharma, please.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, would like to request you please put your hands together and let's welcome Sir onto the dais.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you so much.
I was just about to ask, can mathematics create emotions?
Yes.
And it can.
Yeah.
This is what exactly we are aiming at with artificial intelligence tomorrow. Robots would start crying.
Yeah.
Smile.
Thank you so much. Really appreciate it. Thank you.
Next, we'd like to call upon stage Professor Bhudev Sharma to receive a token of appreciation from Professor P.B. Sharma.
Final group photograph. Very good. Hello, sir. Mathematics and geometry.
Next, we'd like to call Dr. Edward Anzalta to please come to the stage to receive a token of appreciation from Professor Sharma. And we'd like to also now call upon Sri Varunagaval to please receive a token of appreciation. Can we take a group picture with speakers, Professor P.B. Sharma, please? Thank you. I'd like to request the speakers to please remain on stage. We'd like now to call the dancers from who are performing just now during the openings, during the cultural program, to please come on stage. They are the Amrita Vidyalayam dancers. Oh, they're not here? So, okay, can we just have a group photo with everyone? Okay, would like to come on stage. We have a group photo as a souvenir for this morning session today. Please feel free to come on stage together with, with a nice backdrop here. Can we please?
One, group photo.
Group photo for everyone. Yeah. Hello, can you please get the screen up so that we have the backdrop? Yes. Great. 1, 2, 3. Perhaps another couple of snaps. Now one with a celebratory mood. Yay! That kind of thing with a thumbs up or something. Okay? 1, 2, 3. Thank you so much, everyone. So we are now adjourned for our lunch. Please come back by about 2:45. Please be informed that for dinner we'll be having a special meal from Jagannath Puri, and what will be served is known as Jagannath Mahaprasadam. So please stay for dinner after the next session. Thank you so much, and we look forward to seeing you in the next session. Meanwhile, the scholars who are supposed to be presenting the next session, if you haven't given us your PowerPoint presentation, please do so during lunch. Again, I repeat, those who have not given the PowerPoint presentation for the next session, please give us during lunch.